So hey, this is Jason Morris, real estate agents that really work. And what I wanted to this is part of my For Rent by Owner series here. So I wanted to tell you guys, this one, why are people doing For Rent by Owner with their properties, and why are people renting them? And I always feel like if you can take a lead source and you can understand why they're doing what they're doing, then you got a better chance of being able to convert that lead into a seller or buyer or whatever it is. So with for rent by owners, I mean it's pretty easy. I mean, number one, they've got a property that they acquired somehow, whether they bought it, they inherited it. Chances are they bought it in this situation. Lots of times when people inherit property, they don't really have any debt on it, unless they created the debt themselves. But they bought a property, and they either done one or two things. They either made a decision they wanted rentals and they wanted a return on their investment, they wanted to build equity and all that stuff, or either they bought a property and they lived in it at one point and they decided to move out of it and couldn't sell it. But typically was one of those two things. Either they wanted to be a landlord and they wanted to get rentals for cash flow, or they bought a property and they couldn't sell it. So in either scenario, if they could get the dollar amount they're looking for, they would more than likely sell. A lot of the people that are doing for rent by owner now, they tried to sell 2 or 3 years ago and they couldn't because they were still upside down, or maybe they couldn't walk away with the amount of money they wanted to put in their pocket. They couldn't break even on the house, and a lot of people psychologically they feel like, hey, I can't lose, or I don't want to lose, and they just won't let themselves lose money. Rather than break it even on debt, they want to break even on every penny they put in it. And sometimes it's impossible because they over improve the property or they just done stupid stuff. So with our markets going up in most of the country, market going up, and in 2017 we're going to have a strong year for appreciation, or at least I believe we are. We're going to see a lot of those people that they're going to want to put their property on the market. And but every single person, whether it's that person that wanted to be a landlord and they purchased property to be one, or it's that person that just kind of ended up being a landlord because they didn't feel like they had any other choices, all these people, they've all thought about selling. They're all thinking about selling. Okay, so what you have to what you're waiting on is you're waiting on them to have a bad tenant, one that maybe just goes in, they destroy the place, and create a lot of damage, and they don't want to have to deal with that ever again. They're going to have a tenant that slow pays them every month. So every month, a lot of these people, they don't have a big cash reserve. They're not making a ton of money. That's why they're renting it out. They're not making a ton of money. So if that tenant doesn't pay them until late, then they have to turn around and pay the mortgage late. So they're just in a bad situation. Well, so they're tired of running down tenants. They're tired of dealing with, kind of stupid repairs. I mean, when I used to do rental stuff, I'd have tenants call me wanting to replace a light bulb. They'd blow me up, call me 15 times in a row. And we get them on the phone. They're like, oh, the light bulb in my kitchen went out. Can you come fix it for me? And you're going, no. Just kind of like stupid little things like that. They're just common things that typically most leases, the tenant replaces the light bulbs and a lot of common stuff, light bulbs and air filters. But typically they're doing for rent by owner because one or two of those things, and lots of times they don't have the money to hire a management company, because most management companies are going to charge anywhere from, I mean, I've seen them charge anywhere from 8% to 15% of the gross rental collected, and then charge some other little like nickel and dime fees, like new tenant fees. They keep late charges. I mean, I've seen all kind of stuff. Um, they're pretty common on these rental management agreements, and a lot of the owners, they don't have the money. They don't have the spread between their payment and their, what their rental rates are to be able to pay that 8 to 10, 12, 15%. So those are the basic reasons why people are doing for rent by owner. So I'm gonna do more in this series. If you're not part of my Facebook group, Real Estate Agents That Really Work, go join it. Redx also has a for rent by owner gathering service, where they basically go out and they get all the for rent by owners and they put them in one place. So you wake up every morning, you have them, you have a CRM there, so you can keep up with them and all that fun stuff. Um, if you go to jasonmorrisredx.com, they actually will waive setup fees if you sign up through that link. But I've got a lot more to talk about in this, so we'll go to the next video.